Good morning, everybody. I'm up here at Quinn Campground at Prairie Reservoir in the Deschutes National Forest, just outside of Sun River and Bend, Oregon area. And thankfully, my friend Brad is over from the valley. It's kind of cool, as you can see. And he invited me up to his campground that he had. He's been fishing up here, fly fishing for a few days. But he also brought his Phoenix, which is actually one of my old Phoenixes. And I have a Phoenix. And we're gonna jump here in Red Truck and go down to the put-in and just kind of show you around. Well, I've been busy in town, so this was my camping setup here. I just pushed some stuff aside and climbed back in here last night because I came up last evening. Easy setup. You can't open that door. Red Truck only opens from one side. Can't open this. Oh.
Celebrity in its own right.
Ooh. So here's the Quinn Prairie campground parking lot. It's big. Many of these in Central Oregon are not. So this is cool. Got a little restroom and garbage facility here. So you're all set up, and then the campground is right that way. A bunch of sites. It was really empty here in the middle of June, or later part of June. I was surprised. Here we are, Deschutes National Forest. This is Prairie Reservoir right here. It's a pretty big lake. It is motorized. We're at this Quinn River campground right there. And I've also, there's Brown's Landing right down here, which is another spot I've put in before. It's a cool little island right here. These are really cool to check out, but I've never really paddled this shore, so that's what we're gonna do today. There's Brad getting his morning sea legs going.
You got a paddle?
It's like I've never done this before. I forgot my paddles in the truck. I have a whole lot of paddles back there, but didn't leave one back with the boat. So it's only about a 50-yard little hike here to the parking lot, so no problem. All right, just a quick kit check here. I'm gonna be using a 58-inch Benny Branches Sunburst today. It's kind of my go-to. Always have my bag. This just makes it easier to go paddling. It's a 25-liter dry gear duffel. Just everything I need in it. So it's always packed. I'm wearing the Stohlquist Rocker. I've used so many different PFDs. This is my absolute favorite for comfort and all the little pockets I need. Cooke custom sewing seat pad. I put another pad underneath it. Got my coffee in a Hydro Flask mug and that all-important kneeling pad from Northstar that goes everywhere. We're gonna be paddling this IXP Northstar aluminum trim with whitewater eyelets. I've got 3 of these in bags ready to go because this is a boat I always have with me. So versatile, and the same boat that my friend Brad's paddling today. All right, I'm making him wait. Let's go. Beaver den, living large, huh? Prime real estate. Little morning breakfast for that heron. Oh, there's pelicans. Really cool to get out here early. Brad getting loose. We'll keep our distance. Just past Brad. They're kind of hiding out in those weeds. I've paddled this lake, and when you get to the other side, there's not as much of this marsh back here. So this is where the bird life is hanging out.
This is a very pretty paddle spot.
I want to just talk a little bit about why I love kneeling in a canoe. And for those that do kneel in a canoe, this might be a little ridiculous to hear because you get it, but there are some things you might not even think about. One of the main reasons I love it, besides just the total feel on the water, is that I sit so much in my life, you know, in cars, vehicles, traveling for my job, or in the office doing work, or, you know, at the dinner table. And so just to change up my positioning is great. The second thing is I find it so much more supportive of my back. The fact that it just puts me into this upright posture. versus sitting you tend to slump. And folks that do sit end up, you know, really needing a foot brace to be comfortable, and some people even needing a backrest. And by kneeling, I just don't need any of that. The other thing that I really like in a kneeling position that might not be obvious is when I sit, I feel like I really have to be centered in the boat. But kneeling, when I want to work one side, I can kind of pull my right knee back and my left knee forward. Sets me up kind of to this side a little bit, gives me more reach on my correction stroke in the back. Just kind of makes for a more comfortable position for doing one-sided paddling. Versus sitting, you're always squared up a little bit more. You can rotate a little bit, but it just doesn't feel quite as natural. And of course, the ultimate reason I like kneeling is just that 3-point contact. My rear, which actually doesn't have a ton of weight on it, maybe half of my weight right now, but I can put even more onto my knees if I want that low control, and I can take this boat right to the rail. And that is just really difficult to do sitting. If you are going to do that sitting, you need to pad out your rail so you can brace your thighs. It's kind of a spread. So I just feel like I'm in a fighter ship position. Like I've taken what would be more of a lazy position into a really active position. I can shift the majority of my weight down to my knees if I'm in rough conditions and I want the stability, or if I want to take pressure off my knees, I can come into this position. But still, you just see that easy vertical support, kind of like riding on a horse, essentially, versus that sitting position as I go to right here. You can see I just kind of naturally slump into it. I almost get lower, and that's why oftentimes if I know I'm kneeling, I actually prefer a longer paddle because it does elongate me. And then if I'm sitting in a boat, I sometimes use a bit shorter. And let's see, you can see that right here. So now I'm upright. So I have a little bit more of a view too. I can kind of stand up tall if I'm going down a river and I need to scout, settle into it. And again, with this Phoenix kneeling position, I can even go to a one knee position just to stretch out the knees and the ankles. For those that are new to kneeling though, it is going to take some work, and paddling a lot is the ultimate way to get there. But just when I'm sitting around the living room or hanging out with the kids, I try to kneel a lot and just build up that. I like to stretch a couple times a day, at night, in the morning and at night, and I'll work that kneeling position a little bit. And then for those that have real ankle issues in this position, a suggestion that I've used and seen a few people use is getting those bigger pool noodles and just cutting a little section to put under your ankles to support. One of my friends, Jim, who's been on the channel a couple times, he's actually sewn those pool noodles to a pair of pants, so they're always right there for him. And he catches flack from all of us, but it works. Somebody made a little lean-to for it.
Somebody spent some time with that.
And another one.
Pretty spectacular.
We have seen it all, haven't we?
Even the bird like it.
All sorts of cool little nooks to explore back in here. Wow. Can the camera see all through this hatch? Look at that.
These guys are just this thick. There's got to be some fish taking pupa. Get a half this thick and attract a trout. Well, this is just beautiful shoreline.
Yep. Mount Bachelor, Broken Top, and South Sister. And Middle Sister or North, depending on which one's back there. Of all the solo canoes from Northstar in the higher kneeling position, the Phoenix kind of has the most room underneath you. So that might be a consideration for some, is if you want to kneel and you're not quite sure how comfortable you'll be, or you want space for bigger feet or footwear, the Phoenix is really nice. I've been in the Trillium a bit and in the Firebird lately, and I just noticed how much more height. In fact, Brad over here, he actually lowered his seat from the kneeling position just slightly so that he's got this comfortable sitting position too. He can change it up when his knees bark at him a little bit, and still able to kneel still, and he gets more stability that way in the sitting position. I want to definitely identify that if I was on some long race, or paddling 350 days like the gentleman from Michigan's doing to Florida and back, that the sitting position just makes sense. But for a day paddle like this, and for ultimate control of my boat, I really enjoy the kneeling position. I don't think they see what we're seeing.
Phoenix Brigade.
And this is Quinn Creek, huh? Spring water. Little bridge up there. So that's all spring water up there, and it's coming out of the ground up there. Pretty cool. Brad, so advice for me, it was what, to bring a paddle next time? Don't forget it when I...
He paddled better when you have a paddle. Play with the seat.
So there you go. So you put it down a little. I've sat in that. That's like the comedy drop. Oh, let's see. Brad makes his own paddles. What a cool thing to do. He's given me one. I've talked about it in other videos. Nice oiled grip. Beautiful. Super knifey blade. He's got a bent shaft and a straight shaft. Got a name for your paddle brand yet?
No.
Just for the fun of it?
John made, and they were like really long.
Oh, he just straight up made them.
He'd made these. I made some others.
Do you know what the depths are that you ended up going with?
It's 3/4 inch lower than the stock
kneeling drops.
That kneeling drops.
So three-quarter inch lower than that.
Yeah.
And you can still kneel. And what size feet do you have?
11.5.
11.5. Still can kneel, but you were sitting comfortably as well. So that's kind of your perfect world. All right, that's it for us. We just had a wonderful morning paddle. So Crane Prairie Reservoir here at Deschutes National Forest near Bend, Oregon. We took 2 Phoenixes and paddled just glass water. Had a blast. Thanks for joining. Hope you had fun and try to get up here sometime.